And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals. Those grand finales here of the PiGosaur Cup, PiGosaur Cup number 81, TLMC22 edition, your weekly dose of PiGosaur action. We're here in the grand finals. We have a best of 5 ready for you, a TvT, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Defender's Lab, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. Also from South Korea, it is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions will now be open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, ByuN is the favorite player. That is true. He has had more accolades. He's a higher tier, higher caliber player in many ways. But Percival has had a better record. Percival, he's had a better winning record over ByuN over the past couple of months. It's been impressive to see the growth of Percival over time throughout the course of the past year, and specifically over the past 2-3 months, he has beaten ByuN more and more often. To the point where I still want to say that ByuN is favored, but now it's like a little bit more like 60-40, 50-50 sort of thing, where Percival, he has proven himself, of course, to be able to be on the level of ByuN, specifically in TvT, as he's been beating players like ByuN, Bunny, and Cure on a more regular basis. So very impressive, of course, very intense, very high octane, very aggressive is typically Percival's style. Likewise, so is ByuN. For now, double gas opener, double gas out of ByuN, double gas out of Percival, going for faster factories, building up a no more tech-heavy start. And welcome one and all to Defender's Lab. Defender's Lab is one of the more standard maps of the map pool. I mean, hey, we just saw it in the last game, going in towards the mid game, into the mid to late game even. Sorry, I shouldn't mischaracterize that. It was the late game between Creator and Percival. And we might get there here as well. I say we might get there because TvT is hyper aggressive. TvT is hyper aggressive. Very rarely do you get to the late game in TvT. Very often we have a lot of early to mid game aggression. It is common stance amongst all mirror matchups, to be fair. And we'll see if we can embrace a longer game here. For now, I'm going to be opening up. See, chat, him and Shameless have been progressing a lot in last year. For sure. It's one of those things where I would say that Percival and Shameless, they have both been on the rise for a while, but specifically specifically this year, 2026, it feels like they've kind of like broken a barrier, and now the gap between Shameless, Percival, and like the top of the top is smaller than what it once was. Like that gap has been shortened for sure. So it has been great to see. If you remember, who did Percival beat for the GSO qualifiers? He beat Solar, right? He beat Solar in the GSO qualifiers. He took down Cure and ByuN in recent Open Cups as well. For Shameless, he beat Hero, ByuN, and Classic in Monday Night Weekly last week. Like they've both been crazy. As now we did open up Reaper Hellion. So Reaper Hellion out of ByuN. Percival, he's going for the earlier Cyclone, but before that Cyclone pops down, Percival, he is vulnerable. Yeah, he is vulnerable. Hellions, they dive in, they do take down one of the Reapers and a Marine as well. Yeah, they're trying to overwhelm. Decent spread here, decent split out of Percival, denying splash damage. And he's holding. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Nice control. He survives until the Cyclone, and Percival, he has a very impressive defense here. Again, the splits were on point, ensuring that he did not take extra splash damage, and Percival holds. Does hold on. So he is starting to move out. Does move out, does counterattack. Back at home, we do see ByuN making his own defensive second Cyclone. He already has his first. ByuN has the tools to defend, but we'll see if we can get in position. We shall see. As the drop is moving in. And drop moves in. Lock-on is broken, but ByuN should defend. He will defend. So back the army. Final Marine goes down. At the same time, Hellion Reaper into the mineral line. We'll get one SCV. Maybe two? Nah, just one. Just the one SCV. So nothing major here. When the dust settles, you see Percival does have a slight worker advantage. When you see Percival rotate to the low ground, it looks like he wants to bait out that Cyclone. He gets a couple hits in, pulls away. Pulls away, third CC on location. A greedy maneuver here from Percival, bearing in mind that ByuN is getting his third CC in the main. Safer move here by ByuN, and Percival can get away with it if he can keep the pressure up, right? So far he's been containing ByuN. It's been aggression here from Percival, keeping ByuN busy back at home. If he can keep that up, then Percival can get away with this, otherwise he might get punished. Let's get into the main base to reveal the third CC. So Percival, he knows there's no crazy 2-base all in, like 2-port 2-base play. Percival now moving out. And does move out. Heads towards the main. Does head towards the main. Likewise, Cyclone's in position. Again, Percival, he's not here to do damage. We should emphasize that. He's not here to do damage. He's here to keep ByuN busy so that Percival can get away with this. And so far, it's working. He's getting away with the CC on location. Mining is already commencing. Percival is ahead. And ByuN is still on 2 bases. Right? He still has yet to expand. Percival now moving out. And I don't think Percival should try to push into this, by the way. Just trying to meet the army. No, he's committing. He's going for it. Yeah, he thinks about going for the dive. Does rotate towards left-hand side, getting in position to deny the third. Tanks are moving in. Both players have disables. Tanks do siege. Yeah, Percival is playing with fire, dropping into the main. Percival just maintaining this position. He wants a tank. He wants it. It's a big investment. It's a big investment. He does not get the tank. That was 3 auto turrets. Ay, ay, ay. Likewise, drop of the main base was cleaned up. Percival, he was distracted. Yeah, some messy moves by Percival. Messy. Now he has less energy. Now he just lost his drop. And now ByuN expands. Yeah, now ByuN expands. Percival, he needs to be very careful here. ByuN has 3 Ravens, full of energy. ByuN can disable everything. He can disable every single tank. Percival, he needs to make sure he zones away those Ravens. They pull further back. And Percival, thankfully, backs off. Oh my god. If he sticks around too long, he will lose everything. He wants to keep going. He wants to keep going. ByuN likewise keeping up. Again, this is very risky play here out of Percival. It's fine as long as he keeps ByuN busy, but again, he cannot take a fight. ByuN's aware. ByuN now claims his own third. Percival getting a faster 4th CC. Again, Percival's had a slightly better economy the entire game, but now it's time for ByuN to move out. It's ByuN's turn. ByuN is pushing. No, never mind. It's also posturing. Scans, they'll see the double drop. Waiting for reinforcements. ByuN, he has 3 Ravens, so he's up a Raven. He's, I believe, up in tanks. Even. Okay, even on tanks. Down in Vikings, of course. As ByuN is going right down mid. Oh, he finds a way in. He gets to the ramp. He gets to the ramp as well. Massive move here by ByuN. He's on top of the ramp. He does siege in between the bases. Massive stables as well. Stables 1. And I think ByuN has outpositioned. He's outpositioned Percival. Stepping into the mineral line. We need auto turrets. Boys are being pulled. The SCVs are going down. And ByuN has control of the natural. Again, with these siege tanks, this army here cannot reinforce. Like, Percival cannot help his natural base. Oh, we're dropping. Oh my god. The moves. Drops all the tanks. Very nice moves here, forcing friendly fire. And Percival defends. Wow, Percival, he will defend even here, once again forcing friendly fire. ByuN killing his own tanks. That was 6 tanks being thrown away, by the way. And Percival didn't lose any. Percival, he retained every single tank, and now he can counterattack. Percival has a massive lead. ByuN, desperation counterattack. He's going for the drop. He wants Percival to turn around. The goal here, the hope, is that Percival pushes, ByuN drops, and then Percival, he F2s back home. Like that, that's the hope here. As the drop is moving in. Vikings, they respond. Ah, there's already a tank in position. Yeah, there's already a tank. Percival still knocking down those rocks. Armor shredding the army. Shreds the armor. I mean, this does delay Percival, that is true, but he's still pushing. He has to be careful. Ooh. Yeah, tanks are sieged. Remember, ByuN, he's down to 2 ravens. ByuN does drop on the right hand side. Once again, ByuN wants to delay the push. He wants to delay Percival because ByuN doesn't really have much to defend. But he gets caught down. No, this is what? Losing 2 full Wintermax go down. Massive pickups down to go time. Now this is it. Send it, Pappy, send it. Now's the time. As ByuN, he's in trouble. The army does him in. Nice armor shred. Armor shred goes off. It does land the entire missile. Percival, he's so close to getting to all the bases. So close to moving in. Siege, and I think is no, not within range. Yeah, barely not within range. ByuN rotates to the left. Ooh, drop into the main. Bold move. He's crazy. Let's go for the drop. ByuN is keeping up. Percival, he should not commit here. Ooh, he does. Yeah, it does commit into the main. Percival, he will lose this army. Yeah, this was not the play to go for. He will lose every single marine. Heavy losses for Percival. Very inefficient fights. Liberators have arrived though. And Percival, he can afford to throw away some units, but he's going to be careful. He needs to be careful here. Once again, taking down another tank. Two tanks are down. There's an opening now into the third. And Percival, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's now within range. Third base is denied. SCVs are going down. ByuN is being bullied. Once again, ByuN cannot fight the main army. So as a result, he just counterattacks. ByuN just counterattacks. He wants Percival to turn around. So we're just going for the base trade. We're threatening a base trade, I should say. ByuN trying to catch the army. Percival does actually turn everything around, by the way, which means he's abandoning his tanks. Oh no, it worked. Yeah, it did work here. So every single tank is going to go down. I mean, Percival does trade, but he will lose a hefty amount of tanks here. So basically, Percival, he was afraid of a counterattack from ByuN, which is fair. Like, ByuN was faking a counterattack, so Percival, he raced back home with his army, left his tanks, and he lost everything. He lost all the tanks. Still killed 21 SCVs. ByuN is pushing. And in a longer game, ByuN, he's behind, right? He's down in workers, down in economy. Oh no! Gets a free Liberator. Gets a Liberator, we'll lose a Raven. Percival gets across the map. Ooh, it's an orbital, not a planetary. Oh no! Ah, miscontrol. Yeah, miscontrol there by ByuN. Losing so many SCVs. The CC as well. Massive pickup. And Percival still in control. Can he deny +3? Nah. Go for the middle line. A trades. Messy fight. As Percival keeps dropping, distracting ByuN this time. Percival's main army does break out. ByuN is somewhat aware. Oh, as ByuN has an overwhelming marine count. Yeah, tanks are exposed. Tanks are exposed. Percival overextends. He's gonna lose 1, 2, 3 tanks. 3 tanks are free. He's gonna lose everything. Yeah, he's gonna lose everything here. Percival, late reaction, late response. Percival, he does miscontrol. Heavy losses for Percival. That should not have happened. Dropping into the main. He's move commanding. Yeah, he's move commanding as well. He's panicking. No, Percival. He's panicking, Pappy. Oh my god, still takes a bit of fight though. Still is holding on. Calm down, Percival. Calm down. No. And again, in a longer game, if the game can last a little bit longer, yeah, GG gets called. I was going to say that Percival's in a better position, and Percival, he'll take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Percival does take a lead in the series. A very chaotic back and forth here between both ByuN and Percival. I will say that Percival overall, he was able to be greedier. He was able to get a faster third, a faster fourth base, able to gain a better economy, and of course able to eventually catch ByuN out of position. There were a couple of strong moments for both players, of course. I'll say that ByuN had a couple of nice moves when it came to like faking move outs and faking army movements and catching Percival with his pants down, but he was so far behind to begin with, right? He had already lost a base, he already lost an expansion, he needed more than that. It was good moves there by ByuN, but not enough. Not enough to recover from his earlier losses. GG, well played, and with that, Percival takes a 1-0 lead in the series. From here, we're loading into game number 2, going to be loading into Lockdown. We're jumping in. Sorry. Just fixing up the score. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom head corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Lockdown. Lockdown is going to be an interesting map, especially coming into the mid game. Very, very interesting, just because of all the points of elevation. This will impact TvT quite heavily, especially with all the choke points, the speed zones, the terrain itself. It will lead to a very interesting kind of game state here. Curious to see if we can embrace said mid game. Go. But again, it was initially ByuN who had outpositioned Percival. I'm referring to the moment when ByuN pushed into the natural. If you remember, he like sieged up 6 tanks outside of the natural. The Marines rushed in, and Percival, he had to pull the boys. He lost a bunch of SCVs. He was in a rough position. And then what did Percival do? He dropped on top of the tanks, right? The tanks were on their own. He traded very efficiently, and that meant that Percival had a 6-tank lead over his opponent. Like, that's insane. And that led into him counterattacking, and everything snowballing from there. So we had that back and forth. And now we're getting into game number 2. So I'm here, we're calming down so far. Standard openers. Standard openers, just racks expand from both players. Last game we did see ByuN go for a heavier Hellion Reaper composition. We saw that Percival, he was able to defend beautifully, getting into earlier cyclones and survived until that point. We'll see how our players do diverge, whether they go into the same style once again or something different. Already we do have our factory on the way. Oh, Reaper gets hold out. Yeah, nice catch. Percival, he'll bleed out 1 Reaper already. Massive pickoff. Does lose the Reaper. But ByuN behind this, it looks like he's not going Hellion. He's already making Marines, so he's stopping with Reaper production. We have our add-ons on the way. Ooh, rushing into a very fast RTC. Wait, did he see this? ByuN, looking at his vision, he did not. Ooh, big moment here for Percival. Hyper greed, just cutting a bunch of corners, going for a 3rd CZ. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his own 1-1-1. So ByuN is going to be the aggressor, Percival's going to be the defender. What's important though is that ByuN doesn't know. That's the most important thing here, is that ByuN, he did not see the command center, so he doesn't know how greedy Percival was being. As ByuN needs to be aggressive, he needs to punish. Pressure's on ByuN. I've seen the YouTube channel. Rise doesn't have a larger audience. Got some big names. Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. In a sense. There's a lot of competition when it comes to StarCraft viewership. There's a lot of channels out there, and especially because like we're relatively new. Like we started casting full time during the COVID era of Spread the word, Babby, spread the word. And so now we are moving out. ByuN going for his own counter drop. Percival, he will miss this, by the way. It does miss the drop. ByuN now scouts the third CC. He knows. He's now aware of the greed. Getting into the mineral line. Catching out 1, 2, up to 3. Just 2 so far. There we go. 3 SCV kills. Nice damage. From here he can pick up and pull away. And there's no anti-air. There's no anti-air. There's no cyclones, no marines, no Vikings. ByuN does pull away. And he knows to keep being aggressive. So here comes a Liberator. ByuN rotates to the right hand side. Rotates over. Catching out 3 SCVs. Liberated into the main. Once again, more damage being dealt, and Percival's just being pulled apart. He just cannot keep up. He can't keep up. 7 more SCV kills. Ay. Dropping back in. Oh, ByuN overextending a little bit. We're gonna calm down. But 8 SCVs, and with that, ByuN, he now takes a worker lead, and he has a comparable timing with the third CC. Comparable. As he's morphing in his own orbital. Percival, he failed to defend. He's now desperate for damage, moving out with Mass Hellion. And on another map, then maybe this could work, but remember, specifically on Lockdown, we have a high ground expansion. We have that ramp, and we have the siege line. So Hellions, they cannot move in, and drop once again behind the mineral line, catching up 5 SCVs. 6. 5. 5 SCV kills. In the end, ByuN will lose everything here. He'll throw away the drop, but it's been more than worth it. Has been more than worth it. Crippling the economy. Now ByuN can break out. And tank the siege. And ByuN expands. And what was supposed to be a more economic start for Percival has now become a stronger economic start for ByuN. As he was able to deal that counter damage. Setting up the third. Percival does at least snipe a Cyclone. We're at 4 tanks. Oh no! Oof! Yeah, massive tank shots. ByuN has a tank lead, he has the economic lead as well. He's opting not to go for a main push, he's opting to go for a drop play instead. Going for the drops, and he'll find more damage. He's disrupting the production. Can he get a Raven? Oh no, he gets one! Oh, he does take down a Raven, massive pickup, gets into the mineral line as well, and Percival's just being torn apart. A second Raven goes down. Ay. Yeah, 2 Ravens, GG gets called, game-ending damage, and ByuN, he will tab the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. Whew, and GG, well played. ByuN, he does fight back. Winding it back here again, Percival, he was the greedier player. He was being very, very greedy. He was cutting a bunch of corners, and he was hoping that ByuN would either be more passive or that Percival would be able to keep up with the aggression, but he wasn't able to. He was not able to. ByuN going for the early Cyclone drop, going for the Liberator Harass as well. ByuN was hyper aggressive, and ByuN tore Percival apart. What was supposed to be an economic start ended up falling behind for Percival. Percival fell behind economically, losing far too many SCVs, could not keep up with the drop play, or just had a hard time keeping up with the drops themselves, had limited anti-air, and did invest into the Mass Hellion, but specifically on Lockdown, it's less effective. The defensive position is just stronger on Lockdown, so the Hellion dive into the natural was just not possible. So he didn't achieve anything with the Mass Hellion, he just fell further behind. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. Bearing in mind, though, this is a best of 5. It's a best of 5. It is the grand final, of course, of the PiGosaur Cup, so we have a greater series ahead of us. More games, more matches. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. Going for the proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Let us go. We have both SCVs being sent across the map. We are setting up here. We're committing into the proxy. Let's go. Let us go. Some regression from so many Russians for the last year or so. Shameless, Yakov, Nick Rat, Machine, Arts, and probably others. I mean, yeah, for sure. When it comes to even players outside of said region, there are some others, of course, that have been excelling. Like, I'm thinking about Minizerg. I'm thinking about Minizerg UA, who's been looking very impressive specifically this year when it comes to his rise in skill and rise in standing. I think that was like the most shocking, especially in the OSC Elite Rising Star number 18, I want to say. I think it was 18, where he did make it all the way to the top 3. Which was crazy. That was crazy. As mentioned, Percival is the other big one as well, of course. Esther Percival. I think a lot of people are taking note of Trigger, but Trigger is a lot older in the sense that Trigger, his rise was like from like 2021, I want to say 2021. So it's been a longer time coming. No, yeah, I think I would say Trigger alongside them as well, actually. Yeah. Because even though Trigger, he debuted like in 2020, 2021, I mean, so did like Gigi Machine and Young Yakov. Like, they also kind of like started competing more seriously during the COVID era of StarCraft. Did you? That's Percival does look for a way in. Again, so far I did go for the proxy 2 racks Reaper. With this, we did have a faster factory, though the Hellions on the way. We just have to buy time for the Hellion. Yeah, ByuN has to buy some time. Bleeding out 1, 2, 3 SCVs, taking a lot of losses here, but a miscontrol of ByuN does not pull away in time. And this is okay damage, but oh, can we force a cancel? Yo, can he force a cancel? The Hellion's coming. It's out. Yeah, the Hellion has arrived, but the CC's low. Does force a cancellation. Not bad, and now Percival can expand. Percival's already transitioning back at home. He's floating back. Nice cancellation. Oof. Once again, delays the CC. Bullies back the army. And again, ByuN has a very messy control already. He's losing too many SCVs. ByuN will defend. But can he counterattack? Hellion shot. Ooh, one volley goes off. Just the one. Yeah, Percival has to get the hell out of here. Does have to pull away. Back at home, Cyclone Productions on the horizon. Ideally working towards Cyclones and Macfield Accelerators. Percival doubles back around. But the defenses back at home are limited. Yeah, they're very limited here. Percival's racing back home. ByuN is moving in. Jumping into the main. Going for the mineral line. Delaying the CC. Oof. And this can get a hand. It can get out of hand here. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 SCV kills. Percival does go back in. Losing a 6th SCV. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, losing too many. Losing far too many workers here. 7, 8, 9, 10 SCV kills. Crazy damage. And Percival still has to get his CC up and running. The Raxus is still floating back home. Behind this, ByuN, he'll have a faster command center. Better economy. Oof. And Percival, he falls behind. Does fall behind. Now, there is going to be a window in time where Percival has a faster second Cyclone. He's going to have 2 Cyclones and, of course, a faster medevac as well. There is some micro potential here where he can maybe pick off some key units and out-trade his opponents. But as time goes on, now ByuN has his own defensive Cyclone. It feels a bit too late. Locking on the medevac. We're diving on the Cyclone. Can he get it? Ooh, clutch save. Yeah, clutch save does pull out. But ByuN freely expands. Does claim his expansion. Percival gonna be sent away and gets caught out. Losing both Cyclones. And the Medevac as well. So heavy losses once again for Percival, just falling further behind. Now he has nothing to really threaten ByuN. And the pressure's on Percival to find some damage here. Either go for a 2-base all-in, go for some drop play, find some damage, catch ByuN out of position. There are ways to recover in TvT, but things are looking much more comfortable here for ByuN. Oof. Much more comfortable. Catching out 3 more CVs. ByuN is pushing. This Percival does drop. Does go for his own counter drop, liberated into the main base. Okay, damage is being done. But ByuN commits. He just goes in. There's nothing. There's 2 Marines. There's 2 Marines to defend. Oh no. Yeah, Percival was going for the base trade. The Hail Mary play. Moves out across the map. The wall is breaking. There is going to be 1 tank on the high ground. True. If he can get behind the production. Oof. Takes 1 tank shot to the face. Drop across the map gets cleaned up. GG gets called, and ByuN, he defends, he attacks, and ByuN takes a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, he is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Again, winding it back, the initial proxy didn't work too well here for Percival, going for the proxy 2 racks. With that, he fell far behind as he failed to do critical damage. I mean, the damage was okay, but he was also zoned away, right? He was able to get a couple of SCVs. He did force a cancel on the CC. The damage wasn't too bad, but he was zoned away, and ByuN just raced across. He raced across the map instead. Let's go. So here we go. We're going to be jumping into our next game. Going to be jumping into Sanctuary. Let's go. Okay, we almost left Pig behind. Oh good, oh good. All good. Alright, as we are loading into game number 4, going to be loading into Sanctuary 3. We did make sure that we load into the updated version of the map, of course. We have our slow zones in the center, a couple of changes to the rocks as well. That's good. Feels like going Reapers with ByuN is like trying to pull the lightsaber on Darth Vader. I mean, you can. I mean, we have seen ByuN die to Reapers before, but I should have emphasized as well that ByuN, specifically, we were a little bit distracted talking about up-and-coming players at the time, but ByuN, he went for a double gas opener. That means that he had a faster factory, so he had an easier defense and a stronger counterattack. If ByuN went for a Rax Expand, then ByuN could have been caught out, but he, like, blindly, he went for a safer build. So it was just a really rough build to go up against. But here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3. We have the South Korean Terran player down in the series. Can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself. Also from South Korea representing Shopify, it is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening up this time, no proxy. This time there is no proxy. We have the racks back at home for Percival. going for a much more tame response, and welcome to Sanctuary 3. Sanctuary 3, likewise, is one of the more quote-unquote standard maps, but there are some interesting features to the map itself. I mentioned earlier that we have added these slow zones in the center. There's also a choke point here as well. Does kind of deter and dissuade early game pushes and early game aggression. As a result, I want to say there's a higher chance that we experience the mid game here on Sanctuary 3, but at the same time, I also understand how aggressive we can be as Percival moves out with an SCV scout. Ooh, okay. It's quite rare to see this. SCV scouts are very uncommon in TvT, but Percival, I think he's just afraid of a proxy. I don't blame him, right? Like, ByuN just defended against a proxy 2-Rax. There's a high chance he goes for a proxy himself, and Percival will confirm that there is no proxy. Yep, checks the low ground, single gas opener, Rax expand. ByuN is going for an economic start, CC on the high ground. Meanwhile, Percival being a little bit greedier, CC on the low ground instead. I mean, there's a give and take here. Percival, he can enjoy a faster command center on location, but Percival also has one worker that isn't mining. And remember, ByuN did an SCV scout, so he has one extra worker mining instead. So there's a bit of a give and take here. Fun fact, if Percival had gone for a proxy 2-Rax Reaper this game, he would have had more success because ByuN has a later factory. And you can see ByuN scouting. He's checking just in case. Does check the third location, both third locations. If ByuN were to scout a proxy, then he'd respond with a bunker. He'd respond with a bunker and set up on the high ground. But now we're calming down. We're building up. Overall, I would say a slight advantage here for Percival, as it does take a while for the CC to flow down to location. Hello, Percival, as he's rushing into a third CC before the factory's even done. A hyper greed out of Percival. Doesn't just have the low ground expansion, but goes straight into the third CC once again. Oh boy, we saw this in game 2 if you recall. We saw this in game 2 and ByuN did punish it last time. We'll see if ByuN can punish it again. So first things first, ByuN has to realize what's going on. Currently he's in the dark. ByuN does have some Reaper Hellion to scout to get across the map. Yeah, Medevac is on the way for his drop. Percival is going to have the bare minimum to defend. He's going to have the bare minimum. ByuN is still amassing. And soon will move out. And can Percival get away with it? Can he get away with the third CC? For now, Percival is fanning out his units, trying to scout. We got to be careful of these slow zones, that they don't impact a fight. Speaking of, ByuN, he does catch the army. Zoning him away towards the right hand side. He's going to be zoned away. Cyclone does give chase. Drop into the main. Cyclone does kite away. Does pull back. ByuN dropping into the mineral line. Ooh, and the Cyclone will get caught out. So yeah, massive pick over the Cyclone will fall. Trading against Hellions at the same time, dropping to the mineral line. We're getting some SCVs. Gets a mule. Gets a mule, gets 3 SCV kills. Just further in. At the same time, tank is in position. Yeah, the tank is ready. Ooh, massive tank shots. Drop back into the mineral line. 8 SCVs is getting in hand. It's getting out of hand here. Do we pick up? He does. Does he scout the main? He will. Yeah, he does scout the main base. Does confirm the third. Does confirm the third CC. He knows. Yeah, it's now where the greed of his opponents. So far, I mean, he's already dealt 9 SCVs, 9 workers worth of damage. Nice harass here by ByuN. He defends well. And ByuN only now begins a third base. Again, you can see how greedy Percival was in comparison, but he's been punished for that greed. ByuN is currently ahead economically, and it's going to be on ByuN to try to apply pressure to the would-be third base. ByuN is currently ahead, but soon Percival can land that third. ByuN does race back home. He's racing back, looking at our armies here. ByuN is up in tanks, so he's up in tanks, up in Liberators. He does have the medevac advantage as well. What does Percival have? Ravens. We have 3 Ravens back at home, and I believe Interference Matrix was researched. So even though Percival has a lower tank count, with all these disables available, he can still make up for that. And I do like this. So Percival is pushing, and he needs to, right? He's going to be trying to apply as much pressure as possible to get away with the expansion. So he's expanding. Ideally, he wants to keep ByuN pinned back at home. ByuN going for his own counter drop, but back at home, there's nothing here at the natural. Ooh. Yeah, you can see that Percival, he rallies everything across the map. The drop comes in. Drop does come back in. Slackman turns around. And we do deny mining. No major damage. Getting 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's getting. Oh no! He goes back in too soon. 8, 9, 10 SCVs. Critical damage. Critical damage. 13, 14 SCV kills. 15. A full mineral line goes down to a single marine drop. Oh no. 17. 17 workers. Ay. Liberated to the main base as well. Critical damage. Percival, he does have some auto start harass into the mineral lines. He can do something. But Percival has been crippled. He's been crippled. That one Liberator is still going ham, getting 19 SCVs. Raven harass denies mining but doesn't kill anything. Moving back down. Oh. We'll get one. Not even. No shot. And at this point, Percival, he's pretty all in. He's all in. You can see he's rallying everything. He's rallying everything. The goal here is to break the siege line. Remember, these Ravens, they can still disable. And they will. We're holding on to those disables, the interference matrix. ByuN drops across the map. He gets called out. Does try to boost away, and he will lose a full medevac. Massive loss there for ByuN. But Percival turns around. Oh, I think he could have done it. I think he could have disabled every single tank and pushed up this ramp. He had the energy for it, but Percival turns back around to do this one drop. Ay. Look at the army supply. Again, Percival, the supplies are close, but Percival, he has 63 army supply to 49, right? Including a lot of the supply dedicated to this drop. Percival, we could have broken through. God, no. There was a chance. But he does race back home. ByuN breaks out, claims his own third. And now we're getting to a longer game. We're getting into a longer game. Oof. And from here, ByuN is gaining map control. He's gaining map control. He should be able to snipe that Cyclone. Ooh, late to react. Late. The Cyclone! Ooh, the Cyclone goes down. Yeah, late reaction by ByuN. Does have a late reaction. Massive loss. Just does try to punish. Does attempt to trade. It does somewhat trade here. ByuN is breaking out. Remember, ByuN still maintains a higher tank count. It's Percival with a higher Raven count instead. And he still has those Ravens. Like, they're full of energy. He still has all those Ravens. ByuN, he's not going for any Viking production. It's purely Marine tank. The goal would be to stim in and to focus on the Ravens. Percival sims. Here go the disables. Gets 4. Yeah, 4 disables. And still has auto starts remaining. Yeah, he sims in, diving on the tanks, but there's still 1 tank left. Sorry, 2. Yeah, there's still 2 tanks remaining here. They shell away at the army. ByuN takes a bit of fight. Still maintains his tank count. And ByuN is rallying. Yeah, ByuN is rallying across. Oof. We'll lose 1 tank. CC is going to be denied. And the Ravens, how much energy do we have left? Not much. Yeah, there's not much energy. We have, what, 2 disables? Soon to be? Right now, none? Sorry, 1. There's 1, soon to be 2 disables. Ooh, we just bait the army in. Massive tank shots. ByuN still rallying. And Percival has been in trouble for quite some time. And there was an opportunity, right? There was opportunity earlier. The tank survives. Percival going for a desperation counterattack. He's got, what, 8 Marines across the map? Sorry, 9. Time Marines across. Stepping into the mineral line. ByuN, he can respond. Bleeds out a couple of SCVs. Dropping into the main. ByuN is keeping up. Yeah, ByuN keeps out. Oh, he does catch one of the Medivacs. He gets both. Oh, God. Catches both Medivacs, still maintaining this position. And ByuN, he's snowballing out of control. At this point, he's snowballing out of control. There's less and less opportunities here for Percival to recover in this game. ByuN is now maxed. He's now moving in. Does siege. Liberators, they hold the line. ByuN just going for a Dream Drop. It's a little bit risky here, but there are 3 Vikings in position, turrets as well. Yeah, the scan notices. The scan does notice, does take note of the fact that there are Medivacs missing. Ooh, 1 full Medivac goes down. And another Medivac falls as well, even disabling, ensuring there's no drops, but Marines, they still get in. Yeah, he gets in. It's still going to be a rough trade, though. Picking off 2, 3 tanks, but that's a lot of Marines being thrown away. ByuN stems in, he finds on siege tanks. No, he gets all of them. There's 4 tanks here on the low ground, and he gets 2. Yeah, takes out 2 tanks, can now focus on the CC. He's stepping forward, these tanks, they're naked, they're exposed, gets another 3 tanks. 5 kills in total, 5 tanks going down. Now just goes to the kill. GG gets called, and ByuN will claim the series 3-1. Claiming the win here and becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. ByuN will snowball out of control. He will claim the win here. Congratulations. Shout out to Percival, because again, I can see a world where this could have gone to the ace match. I'm still thinking about that moment where ByuN, he was stuck on 2 bases. He had a smaller army. Percival, he was sieged outside of the natural, and he still had 3 Ravens full of energy. And I was looking and I was like, hey, it's only tanks to defend. We can disable every single tank and push up the ramp and just kill. We can straight up just end the game here and now. ByuN went for a double drop at the same time. He even lost a full Medivac, if you recall. He only had 1 drop across the map, and that 1 drop scared Percival enough to turn around. Percival, maybe he thought there was more than just 1 drop. Maybe he got scared, he got tentative, he turned around, he did not push up the ramp, and as a result, ByuN was able to stabilize. Like, ByuN, he was otherwise going to be in a rough position there. He was down in army, down in supplies, stuck on 2 bases, very little to work with to defend his natural, but Percival didn't recognize that. Didn't spot it, didn't recognize it, did not move up the ramp, ByuN stabilized, and then ByuN snowballed from there with a stronger economy. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he was able to get across the map, and again, the drop play was impeccable from ByuN, right? He was killing so many SCVs. It was that 1 drop that killed, what was it? 17 SCVs? It was like 17 SCV kills at the natural. It was insane damage. I mean, it was a drop plus Liberator into the main, if you remember. It was crazy damage. I think that was just before Percival was committing, or had the option to commit up into the main or into the natural. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, ByuN, he will claim the series. Shout out to Percival for making a series out of it, of course, for posing a threat and to being our challenger this week. Congrats. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the morning, and we have plenty more on the horizon. Let's go. Let's catch up on our schedule here. Let us catch up. Okay, from the top, as you can see, we just wrapped up with our Wednesday morning broadcast of PiGosaur Cup. This evening, we're going to be live with Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup is going to be this evening, featuring players like Hero, Classic, ByuN, Clem, Max, the best of the best are going to be facing off in Kung Fu Cup. Tomorrow morning, we will not be casting the WarDTV Monday. If you remember, the reason why we didn't cast the WarDTV Monday on Monday was because of GSL. We were live casting the GSL qualifiers. Fun fact, we were the only English casters for the GSL qualifiers as well. And we will be rebroadcasting that on YouTube and Twitch. So we're going to have some rebroadcasts of the GSL qualifiers on tomorrow morning in less than 24 hours. So if you miss them live, then you can check them out here, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitch. Likewise, we have the podcast tomorrow evening. There's a lot to catch up on there in regards to the podcast with the StarCraft Evolution patch notes and with some of the other podcasts as well. We have Amanthus of StarCraft on Friday. We have RSL over the weekend, and we have the GSL finals this weekend as well on Sunday, which are also going to be live casting. And we have KSL on Saturday. Saturday. So a very intense schedule as always here with RSL, with GSL. Masters of the Game was announced throughout the end of the month. I'm still on the fence about whether or not we should cast it. We did cast the previous Masters of the Game live. We did cast like the group stage, the playoffs, everything live. But this time it is clashing with the Thermal 2-2 circuit. And for those who don't know, we run the event. We run the 2-2 circuit. We admin it. So we might not be able to cast Masters of the Game. Maybe we'll get the replays to do a replay cast later. And it is a big major event. It's a big premier tournament. I would love to cover it as God, papi, Enki, ya terminamos, papi, ya terminamos. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid, Enki. Gracias, gracias. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Enki. But we are gonna be wrapping up. But yeah, so Master of the Game is going to be clashing with the Thermal Circuit, so I'm still on the fence whether or not we're going to cast it, but regardless, it is still a very busy month, and there's plenty going on. RSL, GSL, Maestros, all the regular weeklies. Enki, gracias, papi, gracias, gracias. Enki, el hermoso, papi, el hermoso. See you, bro, see you. Buenas noches, pa, buenas noches. With that, we're going to be wrapping up. Again, we're going to be live this evening with Kung Fu Cup. That's going to be later on in around, like 7 hours? No, 6. 6 hours time. 6 hours time. We should be live with Kung Fu Cup. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. That's it. What? Pacheca. Papi, guys. Gracias, gracias. Thank you so much for the raid. Gracias, gracias. Oh my god. Ya estamos terminando. You're both crazy. You're both crazy. Pacheca, Enki. Obrigado, obrigado. ¿Qué tenemos para hoy? I mean, we just casted. We just casted PiGosaur Cup. We just casted. Much love, much love. Less than three. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. We'll be back later on tonight in around 6 hours time with Kung Fu Cup. We'll see you next time. See you next time. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Until next time. Until then, gracias. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You can support us via Patreon. You can check us out on YouTube. If you see something that you like here, if you want to watch Amantes, if you want to watch Kung Fu Cup or Tuna Cup or PiGosaur Cup, RSL, GSL, KSL, it's all over on our YouTube. So check us out over on YouTube. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off. Hasta luego. Aquí voy a dormir, papi. Vamos a mimir. Pero until next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.